morning, everyone, and welcome back to Good Morning Games. My name is Jason.
Yo, this is Alex.
And today we're going to be talking about, I guess we're going to be talking about what's our game of the year. No, the year isn't quite over yet, but we might as well go through just some of the games we've played, some of the games that came out this year, and kind of talk about what we liked or what we didn't like throughout the year.
Yeah, obviously we haven't played every single game that's come out this year, but we're getting close to the end, and I feel like we've played a good chunk of games across all three systems, and yeah, we're just going to kind of look back and go over what some of our favorites were, some of the ones that maybe weren't quite as good as we were hoping for, and then I guess maybe what we're looking forward to at the end of this year and early next year.
Yeah. So I guess, I guess we could just start at the start. Well, why don't I pull up all the games that came out this year, just so we can also mention some of the ones that maybe we didn't get to play.
Yeah, while you're pulling that up, I'll just say my favorite game from the beginning of this year was the Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury, just because Bowser's Fury was so much fun. I think that came out in like early February, but I hope Nintendo does something else with the Bowser's Fury concept and like makes a full-fledged Mario game, because I think Bowser's Fury could be completed in like 5 hours or so.
Yeah. I kind of think that they will. I feel like that was just a test.
Yeah, it seemed like it. It was like a midway. It was like more than a DLC, but also like definitely not a full game's worth of content. So
yeah,
it seemed like they were kind of midway there on how much they wanted to do.
Yeah. So yeah, going off of, I'm just kind of looking at a big old Wikipedia page here. And yeah, I mean, really for at least that first couple months, the only real big game I played would have been Bravely Default 2 was at the end of February, and I really liked it. That was it's kind of one of those games. It's a really, really long game. So and I beat it, but I just it was great. I actually thought about it randomly this morning. I don't know why. I think I was listening to some podcast where they were talking about JRPGs, and I was like, oh yeah, that was a good one. But yeah, I mean, it was so long. I pretty much, once I beat it, it was like one of those all right, I'm done with this, and who knows if I'll play it again or how I play it years down the line. But it was good. Yeah. If anyone who doesn't know, it's kind of like a spin-off of Final Fantasy. But yeah, big adventure, lots of characters. You can assign them different jobs, so they're good at different things. Yeah, really good game. It got me through. I played that game for probably about a month. Good shit.
Got me through a month.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't play Bravely Default 2, but I heard some good stuff about it.
Mm-hmm.
The next one that I, thinking back of this year, like if I start at the beginning and work my way through, the next one I had on my list was Resident Evil Village. I had played on PS5. I did not beat it because I pussed out and I was like, I can't play this anymore. It was just making me stressed out. But I loved it because Resident Evil 4 is one of my favorite games, and everything I read said that Village was like a combo of Resident Evil 7 and Resident Evil 4. I played a little bit of 7 and liked it, so I played a good amount of Village, and that description is very accurate. It's terrifying. The first person view definitely makes it scarier than the third person view that 4 had. And just the environments and the characters and everything. The story was whatever, but yeah, I really liked Resident Evil Village. I don't think I would call it like a game of the year contender. It's probably more like an 8, but it was just I just really liked playing it, and yeah, that one was up there for me.
Nice. So yeah, looking at pretty much second quarter, I guess. That was when new Pokemon Snap came out.
That's right.
I know we both played that. We both liked it. I do kind of think, looking back, I was so hyped, and I just think, looking back and moving forward, it's like, everyone really wanted a new Pokemon Snap, and honestly, I think that they did a really good job. I think more so, I just don't know how much that style of game does today compared to, you know, like the original on the N64 when we were way younger and like games weren't as advanced as they are now. You know, it's just kind of a rail shooter in a sense with a camera.
Yeah. I actually had that on my disappointments of the year.
Yeah.
New Pokemon Snap.
Yeah. And I think that when it came out, we both we did an episode where we reviewed it and we both really liked it.
Yeah.
And I still like it. I just think, yeah, like, I don't know. It's like, I don't know if I would, I don't know. I just don't know if I would call it a disappointment. I think more so it's like, maybe I just don't need that type of game.
Yeah. And I don't mean disappointment in that it's a bad game. I just mean I didn't, like, I bounced off it really quick. When it first came out, I was playing it a lot and I was excited about it. But then, like, one day I just didn't turn it on, and then that turned into many days in a row I didn't turn it on, and then I tried to go back to it, and I was like, I don't know. And that was kind of it for me.
Yeah.
So, like, they didn't make a bad game by any means. I really, you know, I thought it was well made, but like you said, like, I don't know if this type of game, like, maybe people don't know what they want, because I know a lot of people wanted a new Pokemon Snap game, and then we got one, and it was kind of came and went without a lot of hype.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know. I'm not trying to speak for everyone because I know people did love it, but I really think that has to be what it is. Is that just like people thought they wanted it because they had so much nostalgia, but then if you were just to list everything that like the game had. It had everything that people wanted. I mean, it was really just the first one expanded. The graphics were amazing. I mean, it had different branching pathways, different things like that, more levels. But I don't know. I just I'm saying the same thing, but it's just like, I don't know. I guess I didn't need that type of game.
Yeah, it was fine. Whatever. I might go back to it eventually, but I doubt it.
Yeah. One game that I did not play that I just wanted to bring up because a lot of people, it's a pretty big game, and I don't think you played it either, was Returnal for the PS5.
Yeah.
So I'm going to get this. It was one of those where I wasn't sure. I had a bunch of games to play. I kind of didn't get it, and then as I'm reading reviews, I heard that like you can't save during like a run.
Yeah, and the patch is coming out now.
Yeah, and they did a patch now. So from what I understand, and I'm sure a lot of people have played this at this point, so they know better than me. But from what I understand, it's like it is a roguelike, but it's a pretty long, like, one run, I guess you'd say, is like fairly long. And so if you are pretty far into it and you gotta go, like you got to go to dinner or something. That sucks if you kind of like shut it off and you can't come back. Like I just played, and I know I told you, I just played Hades, and I like hacked the hell out of that game for like a week. And with that, it was like anytime you wanted, you could just shut the switch off, come back, and it would start you right back where you were. So that was really nice. And I can't imagine not having that with an even bigger like AAA game like Returnal. So I'm gonna try this sometime when I have some downtime and I'm like looking for a game, because that's kind of when I usually pick up roguelike games. If I don't really have anything else, I'll be like, all right, I'll give this a try.
Yeah. But yeah, I think a lot of people really liked Returnal, but like you're saying, yeah, they had a problem with the investment of like an hour and a half to complete a run. But that's cool that patch is coming out finally.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because it was clearly planned to not have that in, and I just like heard something that someone's already like figured out how to cheat the system now that this patch is up. Like you can save it, and then there's some way that like if you die, you can reset it and you'll go right back to where you were, which is like exactly why they didn't have that in it, probably. Because they didn't want you saving, dying, and being like, oh, I'll just go back to where I was. Because that's like the whole point of a roguelike, because if you die, you die.
Right, exactly.
But it's funny. Someone, of course, they put it in and people immediately take advantage of it.
Just exploit it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah. When did that come out? Was that like June?
That was April.
Oh, April. Okay.
Yeah, end of it. It was the same day as new Pokemon Snap. End of April.
Got it. Okay, cool. Yeah, this summer, so like when we got into the summer, late spring, summer, there weren't a lot of games from that time period. Like I didn't play Ratchet and Clank. I didn't play Monster Hunter Rise. I'm not a big Monster Hunter guy, but I know a lot of people really liked that. And one we missed actually at the very beginning of the year, Hitman 3, a lot of people really liked, but I didn't play that either. I missed so many games this year, but I also played so many, it's like hard to keep up. So like some of that summer stuff, I will say that the games I did play this summer didn't really make it onto my my list of favorites, like Mario Golf Super Rush.
I know a game that you played that was in May that you were super hyped for and disappointed.
Oh yeah, Biomutant.
Biomutant.
Yeah. I tracked Biomutant's development from when it was first announced because I thought it looked amazing. It finally came out. I had it pre-ordered for like 2 years. And I played it for 2 days and I was like, this just isn't very good. It just like kind of, I just quit playing it and I was really bummed out that it sucked. But also kind of like the months leading up to it, you could kind of tell like this game is not what it kind of was advertised to be in terms of quality. Like they kind of pushed it as a AAA title and it definitely wasn't. Didn't have that level of polish, but yeah, that's on the disappointments of the year for sure.
Yeah. I hadn't even heard of that until you like got me hyped up about it in like March or something. You were like, oh, it's coming soon or something. And I saw a bunch of trailers and it looked amazing. And then like the closer it got to it, I started feeling like maybe it's not going to be as good. And then like I saw the reviews and they were all like high 50s, low 60s, and I was like, all right. I just dropped that. I didn't even get it. So
the marketing was all smoke and mirrors for sure. Yeah, they made it look. I mean, it was a cool concept, and I like original games, so like I was just pumped for it, and it just didn't really land at all. So that sucked. But
so then June, obviously the big release in June was Mario Golf Super Rush, which we have talked about. I mean, I think we've talked about it. It's all right.
It's all right. They added more content to it, which definitely helped. The New Donk City course is really cool. I feel like they added another course, and now my mind's blanking on what it was. And they added a couple new golfers. It's just more of a party game than a golf game, so like the story mode's too shallow. But yeah, you know, it wasn't really what I wanted. The golf is fun. Like if you play it as a party game, it's fun, but it wasn't the type of golf game that I wanted from the Mario Golf series. So
yeah.
That was sort of the big June release for us.
Yeah. Other games I played that came out in June that were indies. I was just looking at it here. I played Ender Lilies. It was a Metroidvania. I really liked it, but about like maybe like halfway through, it started to kind of wear on me, where it was like it's kind of the same. It's really, really dark. It's like a kind of like a haunting game, and like I don't know, about halfway through, it just kind of I kind of lost its spark. It was like, okay, well these enemies look like just like that one. This room looks just like the one I was in like 10 hours ago. It just started to kind of, it seems like they maybe, I don't know, ran out of creativity. I don't know. But it was good. I mean, it's highly reviewed. If you like Metroidvanias, I'd definitely check it out. Another game I played was Griftlands.
Griftlands.
Which is it is a deck building card game, but it is interesting how it's made. It's like I don't know. There's like a whole story. You go around a town, and it's more so like there's a full story to it, a full like regular type of game that you're playing. It's just that like when you get into battles and stuff, you're using cards that you like throughout the game. You're like picking up cards that you can use. But I don't know. That was pretty good. It was pretty good. let's see, July. Okay, so I mean, the big release in July was Skyward Sword HD, which we both loved.
Yeah, it was a good game. I wouldn't call it like I wouldn't say it was one of my like I wouldn't put it as my favorite game of the year, but I do think it was really good. The port was like flawless. Like it ran
Yeah.
really well and it looked really good and it sounded really good. The controls were as good as they possibly could be for going from motion control to the using the Pro controller. And even the motion with the Joy-Con wasn't too bad.
I
But
never tried it. I'm yet to try the motion.
played it for like 40 hours and never
Yeah.
even touched the motion.
Yeah, I never tried it. But that
That's
was
a-
more so just because I like had zero problems with the
Yeah,
stick control.
that's fair. Yeah, that's a good Zelda game. I highly encourage people to go play it if they haven't played it before.
Yeah, it definitely like raised, I think for both of us, it raised what we thought of it originally. Like it's obviously not the best
Yeah.
Zelda or even top 3, but like I think everyone who makes a Zelda list, it's always been at the bottom, especially of the 3D ones.
Yeah,
And like even if it's people still put it at the bottom, that's okay, but I think it still raised, this port did a really good job of showcasing that it was a good game.
definitely. Yeah, didn't force you to waggle the Wii remote all
Yeah.
over the place. Oh, it's funny when I was playing Ocarina of Time on the Switch emulator,
Mhm.
and the like piranha plants that have like the long stick vine body
Yep.
or whatever in Skyward Sword, how you have to slash it a certain way with the stick or motion control.
Mhm.
And Ocarina of Time, I was like, oh, thank God, I can just press press the button and just smack
Yeah.
him with my sword, not have to
Don't-
worry about any of that.
don't gotta hit the mouth exactly right.
Yeah. So that's just something I noticed after playing Skyward Sword. But
Mm-hmm.
kind of, I think something else that came out around this time that I don't think either of us played was Ratchet and Clank on PS5.
Yeah, I didn't play it. I think it looks good, and I feel like I probably should.
Yeah, I was kind of
Like-
waiting for a price drop. Maybe there will be a Black Friday for that one.
Yeah, Sony does, compared to like Nintendo, like they really do. They drop the prices of their games quite a bit. I see
Yeah.
sales. I see like first party games that, I mean, they're usually like PS4 now games, but like they'll be up for sale on the PlayStation Store for like $10. Like I bought the first Horizon for $10. It's like, that's
Yep.
pretty good.
I remember doing that too, right when I got my PS5.
Yeah.
Um.
So
let's
yeah,
see.
that's a game that I definitely want to try out. Because I've heard people say it's in the Game of the Year contention, and there's
For sure.
nothing that I wouldn't like about that game.
Yeah, and I didn't even play like the only like criticism I heard was that it was very similar to other Ratchet and Clank games,
Sure.
which I haven't even played all of them, but I played the first one and one other one. I can't remember which one, but I just know that they're very good games. So if it's
Yeah.
like the other ones, then that's good. Like I don't see that as a criticism. Okay, what else we got?
Let's see, August. The only game I believe I got from August would have been Axiom Verge 2. And it was a little disappointing. It definitely wasn't as good as the first one. The first one, for anyone who knows the series or whatever, the first one is very, very, very similar to Super Metroid. It pretty much takes, it's like clearly inspired by it. It's like an underground, just the whole feel of it feels like Super Metroid. And then the second one, you're outside and it's like a beautiful world, but it kind of like, I don't know, it just feels different. It's like the whole vibe of it's gone. It's not like I don't know, it's just not dark and like alien. It's more just like, oh, you're just exploring like outside. You're like chipping away at like digging spots and stuff like that. I don't know. It just felt different. It was still good. Still good, just not quite as good.
Yeah, I kind of heard that from some people, especially when Metroid Dread coming out a couple months after. It's like, why do I want to play this?
Yeah.
I think I played Metroid Fusion in August, actually. I think that was the game I played then, because I don't think I bought very many games, if any, during that month. But if I go back to our old podcast, there's probably me like ranting and raving about some game I love and I've completely forgot about.
Yeah. But yeah, I think I'm the same as you. I feel like I also played. Let me look here. Yeah, I think that's when I played Metroid Zero Mission.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I also played the Pokemon trading card game.
Oh, beautiful.
Emulated it.
Yeah, that's great. I need to do that. Okay, so well, we could just talk about Metroid Dread.
Yeah, because that's just. Is there any? I'm looking at September. If there was anything, you know what I didn't play that came out in September that I'm definitely going to is Kenna Bridge of Spirits. I thought that looked really good. Yep. I heard good things about it. I really want to play that, and it's another one of those where I just kind of have like, I just had too much to play, haven't played it. Yeah, and that kind of happens to me. If you listen to this, you can kind of tell, like, especially like I just play things on my Switch. So if usually I'll go to like the PlayStation, like I'll go to my PS5 if like I don't have anything on my Switch I want to play. So I know I'm like kind of missing out on good games because of that. So I do want to check out Bridge of Spirits.
There are 3 games in September that we both played. Well, I think I played all 3 of them. WarioWare Get It Together came out.
Yep.
That was good. I would give it, at this point, I'd probably give it like a 7. Like, it's a good WarioWare game. I'm glad it was kind of discounted at $50 because $60 for that would be way too much.
Mm-hmm.
Probably would have benefited from being $40, but it's Nintendo, so. Eastward also came out.
Oh, yeah.
And the Castlevania Advance Collection
That's correct.
Also came out.
Yeah,
so some really good stuff came out in September that I've just completely forgot about.
Yep, Castlevania Advance Collection. I beat Circle of the Moon, and I've started on the others, but I haven't finished them. And then Eastward, I refuse to quit.
Just can't quit that Eastward.
Yeah, it's a pretty long game, and it's like, it's great. And I just like, it's one of those where I keep kind of like something else comes out. I'm like, all right, I'm going to put this down, but I'm yet to like be like, I'm done with this. Yeah. So like if I have downtime, I'll pick it up and play it for like an hour. So I'm still going in it. But yeah, I thought that was a really good game. I think if I didn't have I wasn't obsessed with playing new games and all the time, I would have just sat down and beat that whole game, but I'm always on to the next thing and it pisses me off.
Yeah, I played a bit of Eastward. I played maybe 5 hours of it, and I was like, boy, this game is good, but it's just too big, and
it's pretty massive.
I don't want to invest the time right now. But hey, I mean, if you want to, you should definitely do that. Okay, so that's kind of September. October, obviously Metroid Dread. That's still my favorite game of this year. I think it's one of the best games on Switch, absolutely, and could be the best Metroid game. I know there's like recency bias or whatever, but it's definitely up there with Metroid Prime and Super Metroid as those are the 3 best in my opinion. But it's just really good, and the only thing I could see maybe taking it off my top game of the year would be Halo Infinite, because I'm just a huge Halo fan, so maybe that, but I kind of doubt it just based on what I've heard about it. So yeah, Metroid Dread's definitely gonna be my favorite of the year. What about you? Is it your number one?
Yep, it's my number one for the year. Game's awesome. I mean, we had a whole podcast talking about it. It just plays so well. It feels so well, so great, and it did like such justice for the Metroid series. Like to not have a game for that long, to have a new one come out and it's just as good, if not better, than the past ones that's pretty rare. And it's a different developer. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's incredible. That, and then not long after that, we got the N64 emulator on the Switch. That, it's It's fine. A lot of people don't like. A lot of people are bummed out by it. I know it's not like we're not talking about a game, but this is a release for the year, and it's it's not the best emulation, but it is playing N64 on the Switch. I still am kind of dabbling with Ocarina of Time. I haven't beaten it yet, but I'm getting closer. Definitely not close, but closer. I'm adult Link. I'm working my way through.
Wait, do you know where you are with Adult Link? I think I'm in the I turned into Adult Link. I beat the Forest Temple, and I think I'm in the Water Temple right now.
I'm in the Forest Temple.
Oh wait,
so I'm still early, pretty much.
Okay, I beat the Forest Temple, and then I beat the Fire Temple, and I just got to the Water Temple.
Oh, there you go.
But I haven't played it now for a couple days. I also did just beat Voice of Cards. It's a pretty short game.
You beat it already?
yeah. It's not that long. But I beat it. I beat it in probably a week.
Nice.
It's kind of like it's weird. It's hard to explain. I really do think it's just and I've never played anything like I've never played Dungeons and Dragons, but I have a feeling that that's what this is, and that's what it's going for. It's like a JRPG with a big story, but everything is made up of cards, and there's a narrator, and you roll the dice when you land at certain spots. It's you'll be walking through a forest, which is technically cards, and then you'll land on a spot, and it'll be a tree is gonna fall if you roll higher than a 5 or higher than a 4, it won't hurt you. And then that happens, and then you'll go to enemies, and it's turn-based battles, but it's a card game. It's not like other card games that roguelike deck builders, because you're not building a deck. It's just an RPG where I don't know, everything's just made up of cards. But it was a pretty it was a pretty good story. I mean, it was good enough.
Do you love cards? Then you're gonna love Voice of Cards.
yeah. That's the thing, is I kind even though the entire game is made up of cards, so it's hard to be it's not a card game. It's not really a card game. I don't know, it just feels like it's a normal JRPG. Everything is just made up of cards. But the music's awesome. So that was really the reason I was oh, this is tight. Or that I wanted it, was because I saw it was made by Square Enix, and then the music was really awesome. And when I looked into who did the music, it was the same guy who did Nier Automata, which I've said to you, that music in that game is some of the best music I've ever heard. So then when I found out that was the guy who did this music, that's pretty much what sold me on it, and the music is good. But yeah, beat that. I'll probably never play it again. But good game.
Nice. Cool. Okay, what else recently? I didn't play Mario Party Superstars. I don't think that would be in my top. Yeah. I mean, it's Mario Party, but I hear it's pretty good.
Yep.
I am playing Forza Horizon 5 right now. We're recording this November 11th. That game, I'm hooked on it. I really love it. I said the only game that might dethrone Dread for me is Halo Infinite. I don't know if Horizon 5 could, just because I like the type of game Metroid is more than the type of game Forza is. So but just as far as a game, the quality of the game, Forza is really, really good. It's so good. Especially if you just get into it, then you get into unlocking new cars and finishing the races and buying houses and all of that stuff, and then just enjoy exploring the Mexico environment, just jumping in the Ford Bronco and ripping it up the mountain and hitting a ramp. I love that shit. So I'm having a lot of fun with Forza Horizon 5. It's a really good game. It's definitely one of my favorites this year.
Yeah, nice. I have not played it yet, but I'm going to.
You haven't played it yet?
No.
Oh, wow. I thought you gave it a try.
No, I haven't played it yet.
Wow.
I was focused on my Voice of Cards. I just beat that yesterday.
Oh,
so,
nice. Okay.
I'll probably hop on this probably this weekend. I'll probably play Forza.
I'm playing so many games right now. It's ridiculous. Yeah. I bought Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl when it was on sale for $20 on Amazon. That game's really fun. It's much better than I thought it would be. I could see why people like it. It's just wild playing as like some of those old Nickelodeon cartoon characters.
Yeah.
It's definitely worth 20. I would not want to pay $50 for that game, but that's just me.
Yeah.
I bought Call of Duty Vanguard for PS5. I'm not a huge Call of Duty guy. I had Modern Warfare 2 or 3. I can't even remember. I think 2. I had Call of Duty 2 and then one of the Modern Warfares, and then I didn't play another one until Black Ops Cold War last year, which I really liked. So I was like, yeah, I'll take another spin, and I got Vanguard. I played like 3 levels of the campaign. It's fine. It just, I don't know. It's good. This is why I stopped playing Call of Duty originally, because it's like it's more of the same. Like, I like the World War II setting because it's been a while since they've made a good one of those. I don't think the actual World War II one was very good, from what I heard. But the multiplayer's fun. The campaign's okay. The zombie mode is not good, but I think there's an update coming. I love the zombie mode in Black Ops Cold War. That's like what kept me coming back to that game. But this one is not good. But I think they're going to update it next month. So hoping it gets good. But at this time, I don't really think it's very good.
Nice. And anything else you're playing? I know you had like 6 games.
I can't even remember. All-Star Brawl, Forza. Oh, this morning I played Skyrim on the next gen upgrade for like 30 minutes. I just turned it on to see how it looked. Looks incredible. The frame rate upgrade actually is noticeable. I was like, oh God, am I about to get sucked into Skyrim again? So that was fun. And then I played a little bit of Grand Theft Auto San Andreas on Game Pass. I don't know if I'm going to pick up the whole trilogy, but it's cool to have San Andreas on there. It's fine. I have GTA 5, and that's just a better game. So like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like there's something I'm forgetting that I also was playing, but whatever.
Yeah, I'm playing Ocarina of Time. I started a new farm in Stardew Valley.
Oh yeah.
that like I'm pretty deep into. Like I'm pretty deep. Like I'm
deep.
Yeah, I'm already like I did an entire spring, I did an entire summer, and I'm about done with fall. So I'm already almost to winter, and then I'll have a full year. So yeah, I've for about 2 weeks I was playing that every day. Like anytime I had some downtime, I'd just play a couple days of Stardew Valley. I started Into the Breach, which is
cool. Heard that's really good.
Yeah, it's just like a what do you call it? It's like it's just like a tactical RPG, like a
Advance Wars.
Yeah, it's like an Advance Wars. I barely played it. I got it because I saw it was cheap, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna pick it up. But I played it a little more today, and I thought that was pretty good. And then I guess Eastward again. The Eastward's like my game when I feel like I don't want to play the other games I'm playing. I just play that for an hour.
The Stardew Valley just reminded me I'm playing the Animal Crossing DLC.
Oh, nice. I have not even touched that yet.
Oh my gosh, it's great. It's so good. I mean, every day since it came out, I was like turning it on in the morning and getting like 30 minutes in on it. I really like it. I like the DLC. Excuse me, the paid DLC where you have a job. Like I just knock out a job in the morning, do the visit to Captain's Island.
So what are the jobs? Like what would one be?
You just so you're like working for this vacation home company, and there's all these villagers on the new island, and you go talk to them, and they'll tell you like what they're looking for in a vacation home, and then you choose like a house for them, and then put it together and like design the inside and everything, and then go back and you get paid in special currency, and then you can buy special shit with the special currency, and that's pretty much it.
Nice.
Yeah. Very Animal Crossing-y DLC, but I really like it. So yeah, there's a lot to play right now. Definitely like I missed Far Cry 6. Like I thought when I saw previews for that, I was like, oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna play that. Nope.
Yep.
Completely missed that. Missed Deathloop.
Oh yeah, Deathloop. I want to play Deathloop. I've been
Yeah,
hearing
me
some
too.
good things.
Yeah. So there's a lot of stuff. There's no drought right now of games, which is awesome. I like drowning in games. It's great.
Yeah, and it
And
sounds like what we got coming up. We got okay, so we got for those who are interested, we got Shin Megami Tensei 5 comes out tomorrow. We have
tomorrow,
the day this releases. We got Pokemon Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl next week.
Yeah.
Death's Door comes to the Switch on November 23rd. I want to check that out because I've heard people say it's amazing.
Yeah.
Then we got Halo Infinite.
Yeah. I'm personally looking forward to Big Brain Academy, Brain vs. Brain, on December 3rd.
Nice. And then right here,
Halo.
it says we got the Gunk coming out December 16th.
Yep.
I did just see some new trailers were dropped for that.
Yeah. During that Thunderful
Yeah.
presentation thing. Yeah. I'm going to play the Gunk.
Yeah, that looked pretty good.
I think that's it for this year for like big releases. Sony doesn't really have one.
Yeah. I thought they were going to have both Horizon and God of War were probably in their plans.
Yeah.
But sounds like both were delayed pretty heavily. At least, I mean, I don't know. It sounds like Horizon's probably going to be early next year, but I'm sure God of War won't be till towards the end of the year.
Yeah, God of War is probably on a year delay like Halo, but yeah, good stuff coming out. And then early next year, obviously, Pokemon Legends Arceus, looking forward to. Advance Wars 1+2 was probably my most looked forward to game other than Halo, like at the end of the year, but that got shoved over to spring 22. Triangle Strategies March 4th. Kirby's going to be in the spring.
February.
Oh yeah, that's the big one. Yeah, Elden Ring in February. That's amazing. And Steam Deck in February.
Steam Deck was delayed, which really I'm not happy about because
really I'm pissed off about
because I was specifically planning on my first game because mine was going to be coming. The way that this is, if anyone knows who's like anyone's reserved a Steam Deck, it's like whatever your spot in line was, they say like you'll probably get it this time now. And they were originally, it's like you could have got it from Q4 of this year until Q4 of next year. Like people were getting anywhere in between then. And mine was supposed to be Q1 of next year, so January, February, March.
Did you
so
get
I was
shoved?
And now it's Q2, and it sucks because I was really excited to play Elden Ring. That was going to be my first game on the Steam Deck because it's like I can't get that on Switch. And you can get it on PC. So I was like pumped about that, and now I know that game's going to come out, and it's like shit, do I get it on like
You're going to have to turn on your TV.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to have to turn on my TV. Yeah, I know, exactly.
God damn it.
I know. That's exactly what I was getting at.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Jason has
good.
completely ruled out console gaming. He only does handhelds now.
Yeah, I seriously barely turn my TV on. Like a few games a year I'll play on it for a little bit, and that not much.
That's amazing.
I don't know why. I don't know. We got to get to the bottom of this. We got to get to the bottom of it because I mentioned it. I feel like almost every episode. It's like I don't know why. I think it's because I think it's because when I usually play a game, I'm like I might only play this for 5 minutes, and so I'm like because of that I don't want to turn on my TV. But then I end up playing it for a long time anyways.
You got to go to therapy and figure this. You got to dig around and see what's going on with this.
Yeah. We'll do an episode where I talk about it.
Amazing. Yeah, so a lot of good games this year. Kind of, I mean, most of them are coming out now, I would say. There hasn't been like a ton of stuff all year.
Yeah.
Hasn't been like an off the charts year for games or anything.
That's what I was going to kind of get to is, I think overall this year's just been all right. Like it's been good. I think it's been good enough. There just hasn't been like, and then again, like we didn't play Ratchet and Clank. We didn't play Returnal. We didn't play
bad gamers.
We didn't play Deathloop, which like I've heard all three of those come up in the conversation for Game of the Year.
Yeah. Didn't play Diablo 2 Resurrected, which I heard was very good, but Activision.
But yeah, I mean, like I haven't felt like a drought too much this year.
No.
I felt like I've had something about every month that I've wanted to play and looked forward to. Even if that was just like ended up being like a 7 or 7.5 out of 10, it's still like, it's still exciting to have something to look forward to. It comes out and it's pretty good.
Definitely. Yeah. There's been a lot of that. Like Metroid is definitely like up there for me. Like that's a very good release.
It exceeded my expectations.
Yeah, me too, for sure. But stuff then like Pokemon Snap, Mario Golf, not great. Legend of Zelda, Skyward Sword HD, like it's a port. Yeah. So like it wasn't a 2017 for the Switch by any means. And definitely not for Xbox or PS5. Like they didn't have. PS5 had some good releases, but Xbox really has had nothing. They had Flight Sim come to the console, which I liked. But it's like I have a hard time calling that a game. I don't know why. Yeah. It's like a chore or something.
It's a flight sim. It's a flight simulator.
They did have Back for Blood, which I still play occasionally and really like. I tried to finish it by Halloween and I didn't get there, but I've been playing the campaign of that. And now obviously Forza and Halo are gonna. Forza is their biggest. I heard this the other day. It's their biggest. Microsoft Game Studios' biggest launch for a game ever. It had like 4.5 million players instantly, almost. So that's amazing. I was having trouble with the servers the day it came out. Trying to link up with my friends, but yeah, Microsoft they're getting there.
Yeah, I actually I heard that too, and I think it's just kind of like now thinking about it, it's like, yeah, everyone who got a Series X like hasn't really had like a big game until now, so they're all just hopping on Forza.
They're like, oh, thank God. Thank you, Phil.
Yeah, but yeah, it sounds like it's really good, so I'm definitely gonna look forward to playing that probably this weekend.
For sure, you should definitely do it. Let me know when you get on.
I will.
Anything else?
I don't think so.
There was a little bit of news that I put on our Twitter, but I kind of want to talk about very briefly. But there was news about Bethesda. Todd Howard did like a little interview, and he was saying about how Starfield's a big game coming out next year. I'm really looking forward to that. But Elder Scrolls 6, it sounds like, is probably still 4 or 5 years away.
That's hilarious.
Like they did that logo reveal at E3 2018.
So they haven't done anything.
And that was literally all they had at the time, I guess, was the logo. It was like Metroid Prime 4. But so that game is still 5 years out. It might not come to the Series X, I guess, if it's still 5 years out. It might be a launch title for whatever is after Series X. That's just wild. And then he was asked about Fallout 5, and his response was, yeah, we have a one sheet for Fallout 5, what we want to do. We're not, he was kind of indecisive about another studio developing Fallout 5. He was like, it's a big part of our DNA here, implying like that we're going to do it, not somebody else. So if that's in the queue, then like it's 5 years to Elder Scrolls and then another 5 or 6 to Fallout 5. It's like
we'll be dead.
Yeah. What on earth? Like, just have somebody else make it, please. Like, grow the studio. You've been doing this a long time. Get somebody else to do it. I don't know. That's just some crazy stuff coming from Bethesda that I wanted to touch on.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. 5 years. That means so they clearly didn't have much when they showed that logo.
Yeah.
It's not going to take 8 years.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy.
It's just, and Skyrim came out again this morning, 10-year anniversary edition. So it's like, I guess when Elder Scrolls 6 comes out, it'll be like 15 or 16 years after Skyrim. Jesus. So Elder Scrolls 7, I'll be playing in a retirement home, basically.
God.
So that's crazy. But anyway, yeah, just wanted to throw that out there for Bethesda people.
Cool. Well, thank you guys for listening, and we'll be back, and maybe we'll talk about Forza next week, or I don't know. Well,
let's talk Forza and Pokemon next week.
Sure. Yeah. Let's do it.
Okay, you can follow us on Twitter at GM Games Podcast. It's pretty active. If you want to follow us for whatever, we love interacting with people on there. You could shoot us an email at goodmorninggamespodcast@gmail.com. That's it.
All right, thank you, and we will see ya.
So yeah.